My Jeep Compass is burning oil, fouling the number 4 spark plug and causing it to throw a misfire code. I'm praying for a miracle in a bottle. Is it gonna work? Come with me as I hope to unf my engine without draining my bank account.
Doing the daily.
Hey everybody, welcome to the channel. So back in my 2017 Jeep Compass, and we have an issue. I've had a check engine light that I just can't get rid of, and come to find out that I'm dead certain that the number 4 cylinder is getting a bunch of oil dumped into it, and I'm thinking it's something to do with the piston rings. So I'm going to do the B-12 Chemtool piston soak. There's a couple different YouTubers that have done this before, and they've had good results. DIY Dave and Euro Trash Motorsports. So kind of confident that I could do this. We will have to see. Now, it's only one cylinder that I plan on soaking, because there's only one cylinder that is giving me issues. And when I pull the spark plug, it looks like this.
For comparison, here are the number 1, 2, and 3 spark plugs compared to the number 4 spark plug.
Just completely filled with soot. None of the others have that. So they all look normal according to the coloration on them. Another thing, I bought a cheap borescope off of Amazon and threw this down the cylinder, and you can actually see the oil in there. So we're just going to soak that one and see if we can remedy this problem and hopefully not have any more troubles.
Hey dude, I have a question.
Okay, what's your question?
Do you know what you're doing?
Well, I'm pretty good with routine maintenance like oil filters, air filters, oil changes, and rotating tires, but I've never done this before, so this is all kind of new to me. So if you're watching at home, this is a disclaimer. This is a what I did video, not a how-to video.
So this is what I think is happening. A piston inside an internal combustion engine has a couple types of rings. There are compression rings, and then there's this one, the oil control ring. They're kind of wavy. The oil control ring's job is to scrape off excess oil as the piston travels down the bore, so that oil can drain back down to the crankcase via the piston's oil drain holes. If you get a lot of carbon buildup that clogs that ring and holes, then it can't do its job, and excess oil is left in the bore and then gets burnt during the piston's combustion stroke. So the idea is you pour the Berrymans into the bore and soak the top of the piston. The Berrymans will work its way down and soak through the carbon buildup, breaking it up and cleaning the oil control ring. The end result is that it can do its job, scraping that excess oil and keeping it from being burnt off. Getting the spark plug is pretty easy. The engine cover pops right off.
Manual says which cylinder is 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Then you disconnect the coil, remove the screw holding the coil on, and pull it straight off the spark plug. You might even have enough slack in the wiring to where you don't even have to disconnect the coil. Then, with your special spark plug socket, it's lefty-loosey to unscrew the plug. The socket has a rubber grommet inside that will grip the plug and allow you to pull it out. I went on the internet to the Berryman's website and found the instructions on how to do a piston soak, so I'm following those. You really kind of have to dig into the questions and answers section of the website to find them. I put the borescope down through the spark plug hole, and you can see the oil that's in the combustion chamber on top of the piston. This scope was just a cheap one on Amazon. I'd probably like to get a more serious one at some point. You never know when these things will come in handy. I'm using a funnel to help pour the Berrymans down into the cylinder. You can get Berrymans at just about any auto parts store. The fluid is very clear. I bought this beaker specifically for this. It makes me feel like I'm doing something scientific. And down it goes. I'll put the spark plug loosely back so the Berryman's doesn't evaporate. And now I'm going to shake the whole Jeep to agitate the fluid, because that's what the instructions say to do. If this Jeep's a rockin', don't come a knockin', because there's probably something wrong with the engine. Now it's the next morning. I have to get the excess Berryman's out of the engine. I'm going to try to get it out using this siphon pump. Getting the excess Berryman's was a little challenging with this fluid transfer pump thingy. The flexible hose kept curling up after I put it down into the bore. Here I am trying to use my mouth to get some of it out. I don't recommend that. It didn't work well anyway. So I decided to try one of my wife's water bottle straws, using the trick to where you put your thumb on the end and the vacuum will hold the fluid in the straw. Kind of like how we used to do with soda straws when we were kids. Well, that didn't work well at all. What did end up working was putting the straw onto one end of the siphon pump. This worked better because it was rigid and I could get it all the way down to the piston. Don't worry, this won't be a water bottle straw after this. You can see the color difference in the fluid now that it's been soaking overnight. It looks like what you find in bottles that are tossed onto the side of the road on the highway. I had to step away for most of the day, but now it's the evening of the same day. Now I'm installing a new spark plug. Check it out. All new, properly gapped, and the threads treated with some anti-seize. I use the spark plug socket and extender to gently lower it and start the threads by hand so I know I'm not crossing the threads. And I torque it to spec, which is this. Coil goes back on.
Alright, so I don't know if this is going to work. There's a little tiny bit left, a little bit of fluid left back in the on top of the piston, but it's not a whole lot. So I'm going to, as the directions say, start the engine, let it idle for 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'll go ahead and let it cool in or let it cool down. And then once it's cooled down, oh, there's no light. Once it's cooled down, I will change the oil. Okay, so it was getting dark the other night when I was finishing up the piston soak. It turns out there wasn't too much leaked down from the cylinder into the crankcase, way less than I expected, if any at all. I wasn't able to pull it all back out, and I think there was a little bit left in there when I started it up. But I followed the instructions that were on the Berryman's website. I started the engine and let it idle for, it says in between 5 to 10 minutes. I think I did about 7. I let it cool down, and then I changed the oil. You didn't need to see me change the oil. I've got a video on that. Kind of disappointing, but with that brand new spark plug, my engine threw a light immediately. Let's go plug in the diagnostic tool and see what that light is, and then let's go pull the spark plug, see what it looks like. We'll go from there. The diagnostic machine hooked up. Let's see, codes found 1. I'm 99% certain that it's going to be misfire on cylinder 4. Let's check it out. Read codes, stored codes. Yep, P0304, cylinder 4 misfire detected. So, not really surprised.
I pulled the plug, and here you can see it. It's brand new, but it's all fouled, even after just a short time of the engine running.
Alright, so I did the Berryman's piston soak, and I think it's safe to say that it didn't solve my oil burning problems. I don't know if maybe I didn't soak it enough. Maybe I should have put a little bit more down in there. I've seen some people online, they'll manually turn the engine at the crank to kind of work the piston up and down while the Berryman's is in there soaking. So let me know what you think.